What up guys, Kevin here again today, and yes guys, I took a 2-week little break from actually making any videos due to the actual topic I want to talk about. And obviously, like you see from the title of the video, actually, I don't know exactly what I titled it, something to do with mental toughness or kind of some of my tips about it. But basically, like you guys know, I was uploading videos Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, being very consistent. And the problem was that I was getting to a point where I'm like, if I didn't upload a video on that Friday, I felt like I was putting too much pressure on myself, which is completely fine because I do have goals. I'm trying to build the channel. But today I want to talk about mental toughness, and specifically towards any long-term lifestyle or goal that you want to achieve, right? Now, mental toughness comes in many different ways, right? Physical, mental, obviously emotional, financial. You need to be tough in certain situations. What I want to talk about today is a couple of tips I wrote on the board, guys, to share with you guys, just to kind of go over them. So starting with the first one here, we have is emotional stability. Now, it's pretty straightforward, guys, that a lot of times in life when we have a specific task that we need to complete or that we've set out to complete, you need to have emotional stability. You need to be able to control your mind and not think with emotion, but think rational. Rational means you're taking the emotional feeling you're feeling in that moment. So like, holy crap, I feel like crap. I'm a loser. Something bad happens, so now your emotions get the best of you. You get angry, you get riled up. If you make a decision in those particular moments, that is your emotions taking over you. And when your emotions take over you, you are not thinking clearly, okay? Now, when you're not thinking clearly, it means you're probably not making the best decision for you. So I like the same thing when it comes to videos. Ask yourself, what are you doing and why are you doing it? I've talked about this in a lot of other videos. But you want to be in complete control and complete clear vision of exactly what you're doing without any emotion. This is why sometimes going outside for a walk, doing meditation, really helps clear the mind, and then you can come back to make a tough mental decision without any emotion. So that's number one, guys. Now moving on to number two, I wrote down is perspective. Now perspective, when it comes to mental toughness, it allows you to see things in multiple ways, okay? So if you have a specific task or something that is supposed to be finished, like let's say you're building a house, you're at a construction site, right? And you need to get this done by X time, right? So you have 3 months to get this job done. Mental toughness comes in our perspective is that you need to now focus on, well, what exactly do I need to get done? How am I going to get done it? And that can be overwhelming at times, right? Like you have to get this done in this amount of time. You notice that some guys are not doing the work properly. Maybe you're not very clear exactly what's happening and you're kind of losing it again. That's one perspective of it, right? But another perspective that you can start to look at is that, okay, what are the things I do have? Okay, well, I have this. Okay, I have a layout. I have these people I can call to get the contracts done, right? Just using it as an example, it's the same thing as like if you have a physical goal, right? Perspective is that you can focus on what you have versus what you don't have, right? And now focusing on what you don't have kind of brings you back into an emotional state where you start to lose that stability. Versus perspective, you can focus on what you do have, which then gives you that mental toughness to push through it because you're focusing on the good versus the bad, right? You're focusing on things that you already have and that you can actually work towards to achieve. And that helps build more of that mental toughness, which exactly is what you want. Now moving on to my third one here, guys, is adaptation. Now adaptation is something that obviously we've all basically come to, we basically have to adapt in this current time, is that if you can be the most adaptable person towards your circumstances, you will succeed in life, or you will be happy. You will gain mental toughness beyond imagination, because if something happens externally, an event, a circumstance, instead of complaining, you rise above, you do mental toughness, and you basically adapt. You adapt to what it is. Okay, for example, if they shut down a place where you work, do you completely just stop working? Well, yes, you can no longer work. Like your site is off, right? Well, then you have two options now. Obviously, you can complain about it, which is what 99% of people do. Or are you going to come home and come up with other ways to come up with other financial means, right? This time has made me adapt a lot, where it made me think about the future and say, well, do I really want to live the rest of my life just working at a specific place, or do I want to be able to take things in my own hand and adapt and be able to have things within my own, basically, the way I want to be able to live my life, right? Don't let things be pulled out of your hand On the contrary, you be the one that's doing all the work, being able to set up your life exactly how you want it. Now, this isn't easy. I'm not speaking as if it's easy. Some have it way harder than others. The point is that if you can become an adaptable person in any situation and you can train yourself, that's a very big part of mental toughness where it allows you to rise above and be able to conquer anything. And now my final one on this list, guys, is simply strength under stress. Whenever you are under a very high stress situations, do you break down? Okay? Now, think of this if you're in the gym. It's a very example, you probably heard this all the time, is that when you're doing those last couple sets, or when you're on a diet and you just don't want to do it, you want to just go and binge food, those are those tipping moments where your brain will re-register this. Are you falling underneath stress or are you rising above? And that is probably one of the biggest points, or not the biggest points, but one of the most important points on this list, because it's those critical moments, those little battles we face. By the way, these happen day to day. Small little things like, should I make my bed or not? You know, when you're a little lazy. Believe it or not, these little moments, it's like, do I cave in or do I rise above and conquer and take it and basically take it under my own hands? If you're at work, do I, succumb to what people are saying to me and let them, talk shit about me and make that affect me? Or do I rise above and not allow that to affect me and actually be the most successful person in that specific workplace, right? So then with your training, are you going to succumb to that last set, last rep, to that diet to break in? Or are you going to say, you know what, this is that tipping moment. I asked myself this, that how can I become tougher and rise above this? And it's those moments, guys, in life that's going to completely change the way you view everything, right? And on the contrary, you probably know that when you don't do that, you probably feel a little bit bad, like a little bit shameful, like, you know what, man, like I probably shouldn't have done that. Because you know that if you were to stick through it, and you know you've probably done that a lot of times that you haven't stuck through it, you feel like crap because you're not staying true to your word. And that's another big part of this whole mental toughness. If you have a vision, if you give your word to yourself or to someone, right, which a lot of times we give it to ourselves, that you need to stick to it. You cannot succumb under stress, because if you do, your brain remembers that, it becomes a habit, and habits they become consciously over and over and over, and it starts to go downward from there. Versus, we can start to put that the opposite direction. When high stress situations come, you know exactly how to react to them. You know how to be relaxed. You have that mental stability, emotional stability, and you're able to rise above, rise above, rise above. And imagine you do this 20 times, 100 times, 10,000 times. High stress situations are going to be an amazing part for you, because you're going to be the person that's able to conquer in a high stress situation, which is what makes you stand out of the crowd. Okay, guys? So that's my video for today, guys. It's mental toughness. I'm going to continue, like I was saying about earlier. I'm going to probably doing 2 videos a week now, just because I want to have more of a clear mind when I'm making my videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you comment below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, of course, guys, because it helps out to share my page as much as possible. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and stay tuned until next time. Peace.